Ringside Reality.
Hello, welcome to Ringside Reality. I'm your host, Jonathan Lilly, here with Chris White.
Hello?
We're doing this podcast together. Is there only, third one? Together?
Stop making eye contact with me. And yes, second one, I think. I don't know.
Well, third one including the drunk one we did in the hotel room Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. We're in my mom's basement right now, actually, literally, really, because we're down in my basement in the rec room here. So, we're in our jogging pants, watching John Cena versus The Rock Ultimate Rivalries or something on the network for $9.99.
Being mad losers.
These super losers. I jogging pants. For some reason, I'm wearing a jacket.
We're going to discuss our weekend.
A weekend?
Our Survivor Series and the Jericho podcast with Kevin Owens, which was memorable to say the least.
Where you going?
I was going to check something. It was memorable to say the least, yeah. Then we watched Raw on Monday night, SmackDown last night, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But
we opted out to not get tickets for Monday Night Raw on the Monday because they took over the city, I guess, for the whole fucking weekend.
But I'm kind of glad about that.
Yeah,
Raw was
we
not
didn't want to
good
get...
at all, so.
Well, it's a lot, right? I mean...
Well, by the time we paid for NXT, we paid for the hotel room, paid for parking, we paid for food, we paid for Survivor Series.
Hookers.
Some blow. There's a lot of money, right? And I had to fly here from Newfoundland, so that's an expensive trip, you know what I mean?
And by Sunday, we already had, time to waste, because basically Sunday afternoon, after NXT, I woke up fucking hungover. Shit. Johnny was laying in bed, and I was dry up his leg and everything, I think. I was hungover, but we had to check out of the hotel by 11. So the Survivor Series didn't start until 6 o'clock. So we really had nowhere to go or anything to do. I mean, you got two choices. You can go sit down somewhere and get fucked shit faced all day, but that's not really ideal going to a wrestling event. I mean, you're not like you're going to a Black Sabbath concert or something, you know. So we just we went to had a bite to eat and then went out of coffee and then sat in the truck in the parking lot for a few hours, I guess. So if we would have went to Raw on a Monday, I mean, it would have just been what do you do to fill the time? And I live so close to it. It's do you go back home? Because I'm only half an hour, 45 minutes away. So I'm glad we didn't go see Raw. I shouldn't say I'm glad we didn't. I guess
for the price it would have cost us, for, like you said, again, the food.
Well, another hotel on the
drinks,
Sunday night.
a hotel for that night, plus tickets to go see Raw. By the time I went to go look at tickets, they were $100 each. That's a bit much to see Raw, man. So...
Well, we had a good time. It was a memorable weekend, one I won't ever forget. We got lucky because, the NXT show we knew would pretty much deliver. And then the Survivor Series was a good pay-per-view. It was fun pay-per-view.
So I guess we'll start with talking about the Jericho podcast because we did it Sunday morning. So we got up Sunday morning around 9:30, 10 o'clock or so, went to see the Jericho podcast.
I was fucking hammered.
The most memorable thing, we're going to talk about this a little bit, is... the guy dressed up as AJ Styles.
Super loser.
So, we're sitting there.
He's probably one of our listeners.
We're sitting on the floor. So, first things first, we bought balcony tickets. But when we got there, I'm assuming not enough people sold, they didn't sell enough tickets. And
it was a big place.
But they just told us to sit on the floor as long as we didn't sit the first 20 rows, which obviously is front row seats or that kind of deal, right? So we sit in the back. This guy walks in, and Chris, you can explain what he looks like. Give us some details of what his character was.
I mean, I don't know what to say. So we go down to the basement of the Metro Convention Center. It's called. We get in the basement, and as soon as I walked in, I said to Johnny, I basically felt like super virgin, and I'm pretty sure all the sex I ever had was relinquished from me. And I was now a virgin. But it wasn't even that... At first, it was kind of bad. There was a guy behind us falling asleep the whole fucking time. It was just a weird vibe and a weird scene. But it was fun. I'm super smart, too. So I wasn't It was just weird. I've never been to anything so intimate with so many... 200-300 smarks. I've never been in that environment. So I found it a bit weird. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, this guy walks in from this... On the right of us, there's an entrance on the right. And he's like 40 years old, and he's not fat. I wouldn't say he was fat. He was probably like 230, 240 pounds.
He's bigger than me.
He was heavy set.
I'm a big dude. I'm 230 pounds. He's bigger than me.
He was a bit bigger than you. Like, he wasn't like fat. But he walks in, he's dressed as fucking AJ Styles, man. So he's got these purple ass gloves on, doesn't he?
Leather jacket.
And the purple gloves are super small for him. Like, he stole them from his mother's fucking dresser. So they're cutting off the circulation to his hands. But when he walked in, he didn't look like, if you're dressed like that, I mean, ain't nobody gonna leave the house like that. You're gonna walk in and be inconspicuous. That's the way you're gonna be. He walked in and kind of like did like this thing where he stopped and posed in AJ Styles, like the pose he does, so everybody there could see him. And he kind of like did this thing where it's like, look at me. So at this point now, we're like, okay, all right. And the guy walked in and sat down. Now, the thing is, for anyone that don't know, AJ Styles ain't at the fucking podcast. It's been changed to Kevin Owens for the last week and a half, I guess. AJ Styles isn't even there, man. So this guy strolls in 40 years old out of his mom's basement. I don't know how he left, like I said before, I don't know how his mom let him leave the house, because he would say to someone like...
And it's not even so much... He didn't walk in, do the pose, and sit down. He was standing there for a good, like, fucking 3-4 minutes, man.
Like, yeah, close to 5
minutes. He kind of
minutes.
stood up, surveyed the whole room, kind of looked around as if to say, like, you're blessed with my presence now. Does his little pose and kind of just stands there, his chest poked out. I was like, oh... Long enough that me and Chris noticed him, and I was like, oh, Jesus, here we go.
Well, it's hard not to notice him.
I mean, even then, he went up and sat in the back. He sat well behind us on the other side of the... Well, we were on the right side, I guess, of the aisleway.
He
was on the left side.
Yeah, he sat towards the back for some reason. And I don't know, it was like he sat somewhere where he didn't want to be noticed, yet he obviously wanted to be noticed because he stood in the fucking doorway for like 5 minutes, didn't he?
So the next part that happened was Jericho comes out, which is really cool. You know what I mean? It was cool to see Jericho pretty close up, like he was right there. He introduces Kevin Owens, and then he says, "Who's glad that Kevin Owens is our guest today?" Or something along those lines,
well,
right?
I think he said, who's upset that Kevin Owens was here, as in, like, because it's not AJ Styles.
And then this guy who's dressed as AJ Styles gets up, and he's like,
boo,
boo, and he starts, like, making a scene. And then Kevin Owens, being Kevin Owens, says, like, come down here and say it to my face. So everybody's like, get down there. So this dude comes down there eventually. He walks down the aisle. Now, we gotta video this. So what I'll probably do is I'll play the video over what we're saying right now. But this guy walks down the aisleway with his hands out like guns, like Bullet Club, like AJ Styles kind of deal. Gets on stage with Kevin Owens. And, like, Kevin Owens destroys this poor guy's life, really. Like, he just shuts him down.
Oh, this guy's dead now. Like, he killed himself after.
And then, when they're done talking, Jericho's like, get the hell off the stage. Like, there was this point there where I thought Jericho was going to get security to get the guy to go.
Well, because Owens said...
Like, go back to your seat. Yeah.
There was this, like, argument over who was better champion. Because Owens is champion and Styles is champion. And Styles was supposed to be on it first. So, anyway, he's like... Buddy comes down on stage and Owens has said something along the lines of like, oh, how can at least you got the better champion here tonight or this morning or something, and he's like, are you supposed to be AJ Styles? Is what he said to the guy, and the guy looks at him and goes, I don't know, are you supposed to be Kevin Owens? And Kevin Owens like, I am Kevin Owens.
That's pretty lame. He's like,
and he's like, that's lame. You're a failure in life, basically. So then the guy goes. The guy actually started chirping him for a second, like he was like talking over Owens. Finally, Jericho got him going. Anyway, the guy walked back up, and he sat down, I think, for like another 10 or 15 minutes, maybe.
Well, you didn't talk about the part where he was halfway up the aisle, and Jericho stops him and goes, hey, you in the big Vis cosplay. Yeah. He's like, you just made the list.
Yeah, he made the list, this guy, because Jericho thought he was dressed up as Viscera from friggin' Circa Attitude Era. Because of a black vest, I guess, and the fact that he's, fat, I suppose, really was a joke.
Yeah.
So, but the guy, like I said, he wasn't that fat, but he was fat. So, that was, like, left an impression on me. So, I mean, I'm a bit banged up here. I'm a bit hungover. There was a couple of guys, like, this guy's was a bit worse, because there was a couple of people there dressed as, like, Kevin Owens. But he kind of wears just a t-shirt and a pair of shorts.
So even then, they didn't make a scene, though. They weren't...
No, they kind of, like, went back and got their pictures taken in their ring, but... That was a good experience. Like, that was cool sitting there listening to him tell their stories. Jacques Rougeau got buried horribly for some reason.
Yeah, he hates Jacques
there's an
Rougeau.
old 90s, 80s wrestler, Jacques Rougeau, runs a wrestling school in Quebec.
Yeah.
And it started off where Jericho was just asking Owens the questions like, so you trained at Jacques Rougeau's school? And everyone, when they say, like every wrestling fan, as soon as you mention a name, they're all like, yeah. And Owens just stopped and was like, don't cheer for him. And then he went on like a 20-minute fucking tirade about how Owens is, Rougeau is basically a piece of shit, is what he was saying. So it was cool though. Like, it was an interesting experience, right?
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Like, it was a good way to start your Sunday morning after your Saturday night. A little bit weary, or the days a little bit. It's very quiet. It was nice and quiet. And you just kind of.
I think it was like, I'm a big fan of podcasts. I listen to Jericho's podcast. I listen to Stone Cold's podcast. This kind of stuff online. But to see him right in front of me, and I'm a huge Jericho mark. You know what I mean? To just see him right there doing the podcast in front of us. I like listening to old like wrestling stories and stuff, and how they come up into business and all the shit they had to go through. That's
pretty cool.
That's stuff what I actually enjoy. Like when I listen to podcasts, if I go through Jericho's podcast and I see he's like Paul Stanley, I won't even listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care of Paul Stanley talking to Jericho. But if I see like Natalia, or if I see Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins talking to him, I'll listen to it because I know he's gonna ask him questions about coming up in the business. Yeah. And that's the stories I want to listen to. I want to hear about these guys, what they had to go through, what they had to do in the business.
Oh, it's very cool. It was like one of those, like, I was being my classic, like, not a wrestling mark, but I know I am, because I was like doing the old, like, oh my god, if I losing. Meanwhile, I'm there, and I did I forked the money for it too. But at the same time, it's like we've been kind of realizing the last few days that we're smarks, and probably even super smarks, but my god, we are not on the level of some people, like.
There's people way worse, man.
Like, there's just people that are way worse. Now, I'm assuming that was Sunday morning. I think it started at 10. It started around 10:30. And then that went until 12:30, 1 o'clock. And, but I'm assuming we talked about, like, the crowd at NXT the night of the Drunken Rampage.
We did, yeah.
I'm assuming. I never listened to it.
But, like, when you talk about, like, people being fans and smirks and this kind of stuff, and we say it's worse, I'm not saying that in terms of, like, it's always a bad thing. Some of these people, like, some kid went and got his dad paid $225 for him to have brunch with Jericho and Owens, and he may be dressed up like Owens or whatever else. You're a kid, right? You're having a good time. I'm fine with that. Even a grown man, I'm fine with you having a good time. It's, in my opinion, it's when your smirkiness affects people around you. You know what I mean? So when we were at Survivor Series, let's say, and there's people just making these stupid chants, and like they're just too smarky for their own being. Or like the guy at NXT who was like, "Man, if you've seen one Oscar match, you've seen them all." And you're being a douchebag. Yeah. Just sit there and enjoy it. You're here at the show. Enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
You don't even really have like nobody wanting anybody to sit there. It's just
enjoy yourself and have a good time, but don't mess everybody else's time up. The ones that get me
are like this weekend was an eye opener, I guess, in ways. A lot of stuff happens during a wrestling match at a live show. Now, like we said before, Toronto's super fucking smirky. Like, as smirky as it gets. So we had to, like, when it comes to smirkiness, we were pretty much in the fucking, like, in the fucking frying pan to the fire.
Yeah, like, we were in the epitaph of
it was just, like, smart. But the people that, like, we had people around us at both shows. NXT was worse, but at both shows, there's, like, a goddamn fucking match going on in the ring, and it's a good match. But they're not just chanting stuff like, this is awesome, which is corny as shit, or holy shit, which also is corny. They're chanting stuff totally unrelatable to the match. Like, just makes no sense of what the hell is actually going on in the ring. And at that point, it becomes like, okay, this is not really, you're not here really to watch this match, are you? You're here just to be a fucking, you are the star of the show. That's what kind of pissed me off. Like, we were watching NXT, man. There was people yelling out shit randomly. Like, some guy next to me was like, Heath Slater rules. Heath Slater. I'm like, he's on fucking Raw or SmackDown.
It's not NXT. Like, it's a different show altogether, yeah. And, I mean, the 10 chant got a bit out of hand. I understand doing the 10 chant.
Got a lot out of hand, actually.
Well, I understand doing the 10 chant at NXT. But when you're watching Survivor Series, you're watching, I don't know, even Kane versus Luke Harper was on the pre-show.
Nobody's seen that, hopefully.
They were like 10. I'm like, nobody cared. Like, I don't really get it. It didn't go towards what's going on.
No, it just once again was the crowd taking over the goddamn show, wasn't it? Really? Like, that's all that was going on there. Is just setting 10 for everything. They were 1, 2, 10. People go up in the roast instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. they're all 10. And like NXT thing, I can understand it, I guess, but it got really bad. Like, it was louder at NXT than it was at Survivor Series 10 chain. So, but the crowd is the crowd. I mean, like, it's like I said, it's super Merkville, and it made me realize that I'm more of just still a fan of wrestling than a Merc. Like, we do a fucking podcast. I paid $100 to go see a podcast. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a smirk. But it made me realize that at the end of the day, I still just enjoy being shocked, watching a good match, being caught up in the actual show than I do about myself. Like, I'm still like a guy that when Goldberg wins in 25 seconds, instead of going, how could you bury the streak? Because now the streak's irrelevant because he got the rub from that. None of that went through my head. My feeling was genuinely, what the fuck just happened?
I looked at it, I was like, what's going on?
Which was an honest to God react. I didn't, even on the way home, driving back, like, it wasn't like, oh, what's going to happen with this? They ruined the Undertaker's streak now, and why'd they build Lesnar up for 3 years just to have him lose in 20 seconds? Don't they realize to an old 50? None of that went through my head. I was just like, honestly shocked. Like, what just happened? Yeah. So it made me just realize that I'm more still, to this day, even though, like I said, I am super Mark.
I'd almost call us like super fans.
Yeah, like really big fan of wrestling. Like, I enjoy, like I said, we carve up fucking WWE. I will forever. This year especially, and like 2009 was really bad, but bad years for wrestling. It's shit product, and we'll sit here and, like a Mark would. But when I go to a show, put it this way, when I pay a ticket to walk into a show, my carving it up on a podcast, my fucking ripping it to shreds with you and messaging you every Monday night, kind of just goes away because it's so cool to be at a fucking wrestling show. Yeah. I just want to enjoy it, even though it's shit. Like, even if it was shit, sorry, I still would have enjoyed it. That could have been a horrible pay-per-view. And I guarantee you, because inside of me is still that wrestling fan that's like, hey, you do a podcast, do all this, but
those are the wrestlers right there. Those are the guys who, like, in some time, like, it goes from the when you're a kid and you loved Hulk Hogan, you loved
Hulk Hogan?
And the Bret Hart and these guys. These are the people you idolized growing up. You're watching this show with these wrestlers who are the same as that. Like, it's the same deal. And these guys are right, like, fucking 20 feet in front of me. There's fucking John Cena or fucking, CM Punk or whoever you're a fan of. They're right there, man. Like, Chris Jericho was, like, right there in front of me. And he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
I know, and, like, you didn't sit there and be like, oh, well, that podcast was good, but, like, Jericho I thought was pretty tame. Like, he didn't really... It's fuck Chris Jericho in front of you, man. Like,
right there, like,
the same thing at the show for me. Like, but the thing was, it wasn't booked as like a typical stifled WWE show. Like, there was a lot going on. There was people going through fuck tables, Ellsworth getting fucking tossed away, fucking all the matches had so many people. I just had fun.
It was a really fun show.
It was the only time I didn't walk away. Like, I didn't even look at it as like a mark. Once I walked in that building with my ticket as a little kid almost, but I'm a WWE wrestling fan. I was like a little kid. I didn't really. But everyone else there, no, Survivor Series, I shouldn't say everyone else, Survivor Series was a good, hot wrestling crowd. They were good. But everyone going to NXT, like, people, are you going to see NXT to watch fucking wrestling? Or are you going there just to be fucking, basically...
yourselves, like, you want the show to be about you. You want to overpower what's actually going on in the ring.
A good example would be, like, the Revival match. Right? And we've talked about it. We've said, like there's people saying it was the best tag match in, like, U.S. and Canadian, North American history. We were at that show, and it came across as a good match to us.
Well, when it was over,
at the end of the match, we didn't know.
Yeah.
Then we find out after, but the reason why we didn't know is not because, because those 20,000 fucking people around us, they were watching it, but they weren't really. You can't watch a match when every 40 fucking seconds you're standing up going, Johnny Wrestling. You're
Psycho Killer.
You're not watching anything. You're just standing up chanting random shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, I still got to watch the match now. You've probably seen it, have you? The NXT?
I didn't see the NXT. I watched.
So we haven't even seen NXT yet. We should probably watch that tonight, actually, so we can see how that came across on television. But like, it was like, I'm still just a kid at heart. Like, like I said, we got a podcast. We do all this stuff, and I bitch about the product so much, and I will bitch about it in a couple minutes now about when we go on the podcast. I'm going to sit here and bitch about it the whole fucking time, probably. But like I said, when they scan my ticket, and I walk in, and I'm surrounded by 20,000 other wrestling fans, I really could give a fuck about, like, oh, he wasn't booked to look strong, or, oh, he wasn't he should, how did he kick out of that? Okay,
too many false finishes in
like
this
I
match.
was just like in heaven, really. I mean, the whole time. So, but I enjoyed Survivor Series more than NXT. Oh, maybe. Well, no, I enjoyed it anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say because of the crowd. I just thought it was a better show. I thought it was more of a roller coaster of a show. Like it was just NXT was very. It was a good wrestling show, and I'm a wrestling fan. But I just thought if someone said to me on the street like which one.
Well, I knew that was going to happen anyway. Survivor Series is more of a spectacle. It's more of a pay-per-view. It's a bigger show.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about the matches a little bit here in a second, but...
How about you tell fucking everyone about me pissed on the side of the old fucking barn, buddy?
That's what I was going to say. So, there's a couple of stories beforehand. So, we seen AJ Styles at the Fox restaurant. Downtown Toronto. We seen AJ Styles eating there. We didn't interrupt him, obviously, because he was eating with his fucking friends.
Black entourage?
Yeah, he had a bunch of African American males around him, so I didn't really want to interrupt him.
Why I didn't go near.
We went to the Loose Moose after NXT, and we had a few drinks, and then Chris pissed on the side of the building, and then gave me a hard time because I wanted to fucking get a picture with Eric Young, but we'll leave that. That's enough of that. We already talked about that before.
Was that Saturday night?
Yeah, we talked about that a bit Saturday night, I think. On the Drunken podcast, I haven't listened to it. We listened to a couple minutes.
We're probably repeating half shit.
Yeah, we could have, but I was just skimming over it a little bit. We took a few videos and a few pictures at Survivor Series, so I'd like to possibly put those in on this video and segue into them. So I do have one video of Kane, because Kane's pyro scared the fucking shit out of me. I did not expect it. We showed up for the pre-show. I didn't know who was on the pre-show, and we were kind of speculating who the pre-show would be, and out of nowhere, just like, boom! And it sounded like somebody's being fucking shot. Scared the crap out of me. Kane comes out, takes on Luke Harper, so I'm probably going to put the whole Kane intro that I got recorded in this point here. I think it was the only pre-show match, wasn't it? No, it was the Cruiserweights. They had a Cruiserweight pre-show match, too, that nobody really cared about. I figured that was...
I don't even remember who's in there.
Rich Swann, TJ Perkins, and Noam Dar against Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Daivari.
Drew Gulak?
And, but no, the Kane one, I was just saying the Kane pyro scared the shit
that was the first part of the night. And we were pretty close to it, like we were around the side of the ramp.
Well, you'll see in the pictures and the videos, you'll see how close we were.
It was the rest of the part, the rest of the night, I kind of was bracing myself for because I knew when it was coming. The Kane one, fuck scared. Yeah, I thought the goddamn Taliban was coming into the fucking Air Canada Center.
And
I was like, all right.
I still braced myself for the rest of them, but they still, it was so loud. It was fucking loud as hell, but in a good way. The first match was the women's match, which I'm pretty sure I recorded all the entrances. That's another thing too. You see a lot of people with these wrestling matches, they'll stand up the whole match taking videos and pictures and stuff. I'm not about that. I'll get the entrance maybe, but I want to sit down and relax. I want to watch the match, right?
That's pretty why you're here.
You'll hear a lot of people say that in concerts and these other things where they don't really like people, the band or whoever's doing it, don't want people taking videos of them the whole time. Because it kills the whole point of being there.
Well, it kills the natural. It becomes like a. You're looking at it through something else.
Yeah. You want to be there and experience it live. You don't want to be.
It's hard to feel a moment when you're looking at it through a camera, lens or a camera.
Yeah. You want to just be there and enjoy the moment, feel what's going on. So I didn't mind getting a few of the entrances, but the women's match was okay. I didn't have any problems with it. After the women's match was the tag match.
The women's match was first.
Oh, that was the Miz and Sami Zayn.
Then it was the Miz and Sami Zayn. That was alright.
So we'll talk about we made our predictions beforehand, and I assumed that Sami Zayn was going to win.
I think I said Sami Zayn was going to win,
but that shocked me that he lost. It was kind of weird. So
I remember I was the only person in the goddamn place cheering for Miz because I want the title to stay on SmackDown, and everyone is fucking old Sami Zayn mark in Toronto. So everyone was cheering for Zayn. And I remember at one point you looked over me and you're like, what are you cheering for Miz for? But the only reason why I was cheering for Miz is because, one, I think Miz is better than Zayn in every aspect of professional wrestling. But I don't want the title to go to Raw because Raw will destroy the Intercontinental title. It'll become this just mud hole of fucking nothingness. So I was like, I wanted Miz to win because, I like Miz more than Sami Zayn anyway. Miz is a goddamn fucking show stealer, man. That guy's on the top of his game these days. And then you got this fella coming out. The crowd was hot for it.
Well, he's in Canada.
I thought Zayn was going to win.
Well,
I just wanted Miz to win because I didn't want the title to go to
I
Raw.
just thought that, like, with the stipulation of it changing over and stuff, that it was built that way.
Neither one of the title things changed.
Yeah, it was built the way that one of these titles was going to change over to the next
I'm
brand.
glad it didn't change too much, only because there was no real story behind. Like, Miz just won it back, so. And then Zayn got kind of tossed. Like, the whole match kind of seems thrown together a little bit. But for what it was a decent wrestling match. I mean, not even terrible. And then I think the tag match was
Tag
up
match
next.
is after that.
That was, again, like, it was a fun match. I mean,
too many people on the ring.
I
Like,
couldn't
at one
see
point-
the goddamn ring.
Yeah, at one point, Enzo Amore was sitting on the turnbuckle
Yeah, trying to get up there.
because he couldn't
Timmy
actually
Hortons?
get... Timmy Hortons?
But what, if anybody's out there that actually listens to the show, which is nobody, but if you did, what the hell did these things say that came down over his cock?
If
said, like,
if you're
if you-
seeing this, it's already too late.
Uh,
That's like some kind of rape thing, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Like,
does anyone know what that means? Because he whipped it down and, well, first he said Timmy Hortons, and everyone in the crowd popped, but I was like, Timmy Hortons? Like, I know Timmy's is a thing, and Tim Hortons, but anyway, they're trying to get over it. But
Canadian, they're Americans too. Like, they're not.
they pull down his pants and said, if you see this, it's already too late or something. I'm like, I remember watching it live thinking, what the fuck just happened? Like, but the big thing, good big thing, is Nikki Bella got, like, attacked.
Oh yeah, whatever.
And then if you want to see the worst display of acting by 4 individuals ever, all of them were not on their A game. Daniel Bryan runs, he's like, oh my gosh, Nikki, what's happening? And then I can't
what
remember
is going on here? And
who
then
was the one. Oh,
Natalia comes in. I don't know what happened, but I'm the coach, so maybe I could go out. Yeah, the match is about to start. You go do that now.
Oh, it was fucking horrible. I was like, what's going on? Well, I didn't notice that show. I don't know why. I see the
Well,
clip
we was
after.
watching on the Titan or the screen
The big
above the
screen.
ring or whatever. But
So that match was, that was a good match too. Like, I mean, it was fun anyway, so, like, whatever. But did I just go back to the women's match every time? The
You
tag
did,
match?
yes,
I just...
you just flip back. It's
Was
okay.
Was
It's
that
okay.
a hot take?
Yeah, it's okay. The tag match, I don't know if anything really special. It surprised me that the final 2 people were Cesaro and Sheamus and the Usos. That surprised me. I figured it would have been like
surprised me too.
American Alpha probably last.
Well, that's why when Cesaro and Sheamus won, and they were talking about them fighting the New Day the next night on Raw, I thought the only reason why they'd win is to make them look strong because they're taking the belts from New Day, and then they end up losing New Day anyway. So it's like, kind of served no purpose really, because now it's like they won. Like, so they could beat 4 other teams from SmackDown,
but they can't beat New
Day.
Day, who was eliminated first. I'm pretty sure, weren't they?
In 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
They were eliminated almost right away, which made them look mad weak as the champions, which is weird. But
I think they just got rid of it just to throw a curveball in it because it's like everyone assumed they'd be last, so if they're gone first, now it's really like, well, who's going to be left?
Yeah,
so it kind of serves a purpose. But yeah, like the crowd was hot for all of this. Like it was a good show, and we had like this guy sitting next to Johnny Man.
Oh, the drunk
my
guy.
God.
He was about what 3-4 seats down from
He
me,
was about 4 seats down. He was like 40 years old
and he was hammered.
at the pre-show.
Oh yeah, he walked in at a place drunk as fuck. Like
Yeah.
he was hammered.
And he was
shit.
chanting NXT at the pre-show. And we're like, that's not even the goddamn right
And
show.
he was chanting, "You can't see me." I was like, "Cena's not even here, man. Like I don't know what."
He kept asking people in the rows ahead of him. He's like, "Hey man, let's start a chat." But he had this weird, like rough, dirty old like smoker voice. He's like, "Hey everyone, in front, let's start a chant." And then everyone looked back at him like, "Buddy, shut up." And he'd go like, "John Cena," and nothing would happen. And he'd be like, "Oh, what's wrong with you people?" And every time he'd do that, he'd leave and come back with like a $400 merchandise item. He must have spent like $20,000 at the show.
Well, he had what 2 or 3 belts on him.
He had every belt, but
2 or 3 shirts. Every time he came back, he had 2 or 3 beer. And I'm telling you,
19.
oh well, the beer is not too bad. But fuck, beer is like
$12.
like $12. That's $24 every single time he went out. And every time I looked over, he was gone. During most of the matches, he wasn't even sitting there.
I know, that was the weird part, is he was like super murky and like chanting, but the actual show, again, more about just going there to be about yourself. He didn't actually care about the show.
He didn't watch hardly any of it.
But
man.
he was super murk.
Yeah.
He was just there to be like cool
To
and be
be
like,
there, I suppose.
"Oh yeah."
It was more about the experience for him, I suppose.
But he didn't even watch a goddamn match.
Like that's what I mean, getting merchandise and getting drinks and having nachos and having a hot dog. And,
A lot of drinks.
Yeah.
He must have had like 10, 12 beers.
remember? Lucha.
Oh, that was the next match, actually. Good
the cruiserweight,
segue.
yeah.
Because he comes out and changes the ring ropes, and Johnny over here, remember Captain Obvious? So, boys are changing the ring ropes. No, actually, the first one was the pre-show.
I was like, this is a pre-show match.
He looks over, he's like, hey, but you were serious too. Like, you never said it in like a funny way. Like, this is a pre. You just looked at me like, still a pre-show match. And I was like, what? And you're like, pre-show. I was like, well, I know it's a fucking pre-show, man. It's Luke Harper for Kane, first of all. And then as they're changing the ropes, they got like 2 of them on already so you can see the purple. Johnny's like, changing the ropes to purple.
Cruiserweight match coming up next.
I'm like, thanks, man. Like, but I suppose I couldn't really figure that out. There was literally 20 people in the ring changing the ropes, and we weren't even that far away. So, but that's a good segue to that. So this guy, this match is not over at all. There's nobody give a fuck about the cruiserweights on Raw.
It was a dead match.
So he comes out, and Brian Kendrick hopefully is dead already. Hopefully he died in a car accident earlier today. And then he comes out, takes down Kalisto, or as they call him, what is it?
Callisto.
His alias. The match is dead in the water. I mean, like, you can hear a pin drop. You can hear a pin drop, and this drunk guy that's going out, we're talking about a couple minutes ago, he's doing some satanic fucking drunk. I can't do it.
He's like, Lucha, Lucha,
Yeah.
Lucha.
It wasn't like
It was supposed to say Lucha.
Yeah, I know. But
He was just going, Lucha, Lucha, Lucha.
and he sounded like he was fucking some kind of demon or something. And he was, and then so it wasn't even it. The crowd's dead. Nobody give a fuck. And one person behind us is like, Goldberg. Buddy turns around and he's like, hey man, have some fucking respect. This is true wrestling. And everyone's like, what? And then he starts chanting, you can wrestle at people.
Yeah.
So he stands
you can
up.
wrestle.
Buddy got 2 beers in his hand and he's surrounded by $70 fake world titles. And he's like, you can wrestle. And I'm like, I never heard that chant before. You can wrestle? Meanwhile, by the way, everyone, if you didn't see the show, this match was like wildly average. The worst match of the night it was actually technically. And
it was funny because he's like, have some respect. And then like, no joke, 2 minutes later he was like, stupid idiot.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, what
not
respect?
Even, no, it's not even a minute. He's like, have some respect. And then as soon as he said that, like, he took a sip of beer and started chanting a Chris Jericho line at the cruiserweight, stupid idiot. And everyone's like, what?
Have some respect. Stupid idiot.
That guy was the worst. If he's out there, if he ever finds his podcast, buddy, please just never go to a show again. That was fucking horrible. And then
maybe the worst chant of the whole night was Corey Graves.
Oh yeah,
Remember
because wrestlers is fucking hilarious. So when announcers or wrestlers come out, people yell at them and like be like, Jerry Lawler, or like Jerry Lawler. Corey Graves comes out and the guy in front of us is like super merc too for Kevin Owens and shit. Like, he was loud all night, but he was just sitting there. All of a sudden you hear like Corey Graves, like. Like, as if, like, he was lower than me talking to you right now.
Yeah. He was like, no emotion. No yelling at all. Just like, Corey Graves. And I looked at you, and you looked at me, and were like, was that supposed to be a chant or something? Like, what's he saying?
Well, I told everybody I had fucking goddamn Carb Tom sitting next to me, too, remember?
So Chris had this old man sitting next to him.
Oh, buddy was eating.
And Chris looks over and he's like, Johnny, this guy smells like car oil or something. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he smells like old engine oil. And the seats next to me were empty for a little while. And Chris was like, but if anybody doesn't sit in those seats, we got to move over. He's like, this guy stinks. So I didn't really, I believed him, obviously, but I didn't smell it. Until the old man stood up and
took his jacket off or something.
Took his jacket off or whatever. And the air conditioning was pointed almost right at us. So, like, it was blowing right past us. So it caught his whiff. And blew right past my nose, and I was like, oh,
and I don't know what it was. Yeah, it was like some kind of weird like mixture between like transmission fluid
and body odor.
He
was like
tossing a bit of antifreeze, maybe.
It was almost like he was an old man who didn't really like wash himself much.
He was like an old man that, he was clearly a mechanic. And then he came back at one point with an old dirty old foot-long fucking tin.
Yeah.
And I was watching him eat it, kind of the peripherals were on the go, and I'm like, oh. He was just like, oh. And he was mad fucking weird, because like every time someone would do something, I hear him like talking to himself, he's like, holy shit, yeah. And like he was all like, just like, what's going on? I don't even know if he watched wrestling. I don't even know.
Probably just there because I think the guy next to him on the other side was with him. I think
yeah,
it was his son or maybe he's like whatever else. Right?
The whole night I was smelling fucking car oil or some shit. I don't even know what it was. Like Buddy obviously works at a fucking garage somewhere. He's a mechanic, but he never showered, which would probably be a bonus when you sit next to 20,000 people. So that was the cruiserweight match, and I guess next there was only 5 matches. was the Raw match.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was, or the men's elimination match, I suppose.
Yeah.
That was like the best match of the show.
Obviously. Yeah, that was a highlight for me. Yeah, because I mean, there were some spots in that were really fucking good. Yeah,
that was a shit show of a match, and like some of it didn't live. Some of it didn't come across to make any sense at all. But like most of it, like that was a really good match. And it was long, and there was a lot of like to book that match. Like people underrate like the
producers and stuff.
Not the producers.
Well, like the people's
not the bookers.
Match,
what do they call it? The guys that make the match.
Agents,
yeah. Because like to book a 5-on-5 shit show for 45 minutes. I mean, you gotta know what you're doing, man. It's not like you just go like boy punch each other. Like there was all kinds of spots lined up, and the Ellsworth Strowman spot was really well done. We seen him run under the ring too, Ellsworth. We're like, the way he did it was not even random. He was hiding away. Because remember they were chasing him, so we're like he's hiding away from him. So he did it, even though the camera probably didn't pick that up.
They didn't show it on TV. I watched the pay-per-view afterwards on TV.
They didn't show him going under the ring, but at least live he still maintained kayfabe, I suppose.
On TV, when I was watching the pay-per-view afterwards, when Strowman reaches up to get into the ring, and he doesn't, they just count him out. The commentators are like, "What's going on?" And the camera pangs down and shows the hands around his leg.
Little dirty hands.
And I think Otunga says like, "Who the hell is that?" or something. And they don't even know who it is. And then he pulls them out, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Ellsworth, it's Ellsworth." And then
I thought that was well done.
But we watched him run under the ring, and I even said, I was like, "Look at Ellsworth run under the ring, hiding away."
Well, apparently Luke Harper was under the ring the whole time too. Well, didn't see him apparently.
Yeah, he must have come out with the ring crew or something at one point, maybe during the cruiserweight match or something.
Oh. But that was a good match. Like that was fun as fuck.
Like, I liked that.
I wasn't even in that. Alright, he had a stroke that time. I wasn't even in Mark heaven in that match. I was in fan heaven. Yeah, that's the difference.
When Shane got eat, we were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I was just during that match. Like I didn't even really go mad for most of the entrances. I was just I was a fan. Like that match, I wasn't marking out, and I was actually sitting there as like. Just like almost like a casual wrestling fan going like, yeah, when Shane got eat, I was like, holy fuck. And then like all the stuff that happened all night, like if you had a video camera on us, we were pretty much like our reactions were very genuine. As like, what? Which brings us to
the main event.
Which that's 2 matches in a row now where Lesnar shocked the backstage wrestlers in the ring with the ending.
Yeah.
This match, I can understand why some people would be like, what's the point of that? But I can really not understand why they'd be mad at all. Seriously, this first of all, it's Goldberg gimmick, but in real fighting, this is what they're doing. The storyline is, as far as I can tell, is that Lesnar underestimated Goldberg.
Yes, yeah.
And Goldberg caught him at a point of weakness early in the match and caught him with a quick spear, which led to the end of the match. In real fighting, in boxing and shit especially, how many matches with 2 fucking A-listers has started and ended in the first round because he caught him off guard or he was underestimated
or a lucky punch or whatever.
Well,
you know what I mean?
you know what I mean. Like it's this in real
life
at
any time. And
it's a true real life scenario where Brock Lesnar's a fucking beast. Goldberg comes back 12 years. Lesnar's been riding high for like 3 years now, overconfident as this is just. But the people don't see this part. That's the storyline they're actually trying to do. Is that he was overconfident and he went in there and took Goldberg for granted. Goldberg went in and hit him with a quick spear and the match ended in like 45 seconds. And now the story continuing will be Lesnar's going to come back and be like, what the fuck? Want to kill the guy. Yeah, this is actually leading up to a bigger money match now. Because all that's going to happen is Lesnar's not going to be like, my client Brock Lesnar. It's going to be like, you're going to fucking die next match. So I don't understand what people's gripe is with it really. I mean, it made Goldberg look really strong. It didn't even really hurt Lesnar, in my opinion. Like, all it looked like was an athlete took another athlete for granted by mistake.
Well,
and lost a match.
If they're smart, what they'll do is the next match they should build it up that Lesnar didn't train for the match because he didn't think Goldberg was going to be able to take him on. Goldberg's been out of the business for 12 years or whatever else, and he didn't feel like he needed to train properly for it and this kind of stuff.
He underestimated him.
It's exactly how UFC works, though. It happens all the time.
That's what I mean.
UFC,
like, it's a real kind of storyline, really.
Like in UFC all the time. You put Lesnar against like Couture, let's say, for example. Randy Couture's fucking 55 years old, whatever. And Couture, let's say Couture went out and beat him, which didn't happen. But let's say it did happen. Lesnar would be like, well, I didn't really take him seriously because he's a fucking 55-year-old man. I'm a fucking,
life,
like a monster, you know what I mean? Lots of times people take people for granted, you know what I mean? especially when they give him like not as much time to prepare. Goldberg only had less than a month to prepare. Let's say in storyline wise, right? Like he only had a few weeks to prepare for the match and yada yada yada. In my opinion, when I seen it happen, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But it was in like kayfabe. What the fuck's going on? After the match, I was like, "This is fine with me."
Oh, I just long term, I don't even understand the whole. Like I said, I don't understand what's wrong with it. Anyone that, like I said to you before, that went into that arena chanting Goldberg again, like which was basically 20,000 of them.
And we thought he was going to get booed.
And and he didn't. Everybody was on his side. So anyone that went in there chanting Goldberg and left there and went on some fucking internet forum or on some message board complaining about it needs to fucking stop watching wrestling, because people, you chanted Goldberg's name for one reason. That's what his gimmick is. He 173-0 of 20-second matches.
Yeah,
that's
three
why
moves.
He's famous. That's why
moves.
You know who he is.
Yeah.
That's why you cheer for him at Survivor Series. That's his fucking gimmick. So then it happens now, and people are like, "What the fuck is Goldberg doing?" But that's his fucking gimmick. That's why you're holding a sign right now saying Goldberg, because he beat people in like what, 40 seconds. The storyline will be from Lesnar's side is he got lucky and Lesnar underestimated him. Yes. And he got a lucky spear. That first spear changed. You got lucky. It took him out. It's money. Because
that's going to build the next one, because that gives Lesnar a bit of legitimacy, because he didn't get fucking eat just because he was a loser. He got eat because he got caught off guard. He wasn't prepared for it, that kind of deal. So he has a legitimate,
which is good booking, like in a kayfabe, in a non-kayfabe world, especially, but in a wrestling world where it's fake, quote unquote fake, it's good booking, because that there looks way more. Now the best part is if they would have went 20 minutes and Lesnar won, the complaint would be, how could this 50-year-old guy go 20 minutes with a primed? So you can't win. It'd be like, oh yeah, right, like Brock Lesnar is going to fight, or sorry, like Goldberg's going to go 20 minutes with fucking Brock Lesnar. But the thing that I liked about it was, it could, like you said, man, you could fight Brock Lesnar. Really, if you get one lucky punch in his throat or something, he could go. It makes it look kind of like that was not planned. This is kind of real. Like maybe he did get lucky. And that's what I like about it, as opposed to the standard 12 suplexes. Like, I would have been probably, like, more disappointed. I was waiting for that.
We talked about it before, about how can Lesnar go 20 minutes or whatever in a match, 15, 20 minutes. We've said before, the match even happened, Goldberg. We said before the match even happened that we almost thought that there should have been some kind of stipulation, like a no DQ, so he used weapons and stuff, because we know he's not going in a straight up wrestling match for 15 to 20 minutes. Like, he can't do it. No. Right? He just blew up after beating up the fucking security guard starting Raw.
Shoulder, didn't he?
Yeah, so we knew that wasn't going to happen. To me, this makes sense, because it's a different time in wrestling, because look at it this way. If 20 years ago, when when Bret Hart took on Yokozuna, and then Hulk Hogan comes out after the match and beats him, people on the internet would be losing their minds, like, this doesn't make any sense, Hogan doesn't deserve it, Bret should have got it, Bret should have got this. But at the time, in that period, people were like popping for Hogan winning, really. So
got popping night, didn't it?
Nobody really thought that Hogan should have come out and won after Bret got beat by Yoko, but it still popped the crowd, didn't it? If this was nowadays, that'd be shit on. People were like, this is what a travesty, wrestling's dead, and all this other shit.
Well, there's people saying online that Brock should show his face again, which means it's working, though?
Yeah.
Because smarks are hilarious.
Yeah.
Smarks are the best, because they think they're smart, but every time they bite the bait, they're actually doing exactly what Vince McMahon wants them to. Yeah. They'll write online like, Vince is so out of touch, I can't believe he done that. He's an old fart and all this, but Vince is playing you like a fucking fiddle. When you say something like, after that embarrassing loss, Lesnar should never show his face again, kind of means that it worked.
Well, because when he does show his face again, guess what you're going to do? You're going to boo him, because he's supposed to be a heel. Like, I don't get it, man.
No, I don't get, like I said, I kind of can get why some people would have been like, oh, as a main event, I should have went like, you know,
really, the main event was the 5-on-5.
Yeah, like this was all this match was for anyone listening that don't fucking understand. This match was never meant to be a fucking wrestling match. It was
Or
never
a
meant to
wrestling
be.
clinic
It was never meant to be anything except for a spectacle.
Star, yeah.
That was all it was. It was total of 15 minutes with entrances and match and celebration, and he's gone. That's all this match was ever meant to be. And guess what? It sold fucking tickets. It popped the crowd. It had a. People can say whatever they want about goddamn fucking all these wrestlers. That match had a big fight feel. So if people don't like that, sorry, but when he won, the reaction of the audience was something that you won't get from, say, just some random wrestler beating wrestler A beating wrestler B. It was a big match. It had a big match feel, and
I was shocked.
I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like,
well, we've always said, and I've said it forever, and I've said it on this podcast numerous times. The one thing I miss about wrestling is the unpredictability. You don't know what's going to happen. We were watching it last night. We were watching SmackDown last night. Oh, what's going to happen? AJ Styles versus Ellsworth, and Dean Ambrose is kicked out of the building. I wonder if Ambrose will come back and cost him the match. Come on.
Right, so there's two things that happened this weekend that shocked me. Goldberg won in like 45 seconds, and Ambrose came back last night. That was my shocker.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
No.
And why'd he come back dressed as a fucking goon, man?
I don't know, but...
The goon!
Because he's in Ottawa in Ontario, Canada.
The goon!
But he's...
Did he have the skates on? The
Not
fucking
sure.
wrestling skates? I actually would have marked out.
I think he just had the gloves and the...
But you gotta tell everyone, though, about... We're almost at like 50 minutes already, but we gotta tell everyone about... We gotta tell everyone about fucking us marking out for old Shining Stars. Most of the whole audience, we marked it. But this was embarrassing. It was mad embarrassing.
But it doesn't matter. We still did it. We were like,
their music hit, and everyone was just standing there, like, looking. And me and Johnny was looking at each other, hugging each other, and everything. We were like, it's pretty out!
I was like, epic!
So now, everything we just said about all the smarts, there's probably like 100 people behind us that are talking to their friends the next day going, okay, bye. There was these two fucking fellers in front of us.
In their 30s, fucking marking out for the Shining Stars.
I'm marking out friggin'... And not only that, I also marked out for old Fandango doing a dance with his police outfit on. Shouldn't admit that, but I did. I was like, oh, Fandango down there. He's like... Well,
in all honesty, that's the whole point of wrestling.
But that's why we're not, like, that's what I mean, like, we're fans. Like, it's fun, man. Like, I was like...
We even said, before when the weekend started, I looked at Chris, I said, no judgment weekend. Like, you can mark out who you wants to mark out for. You can get excited for whatever you want. There's no good to look at me and be like, what are you doing that for? Well, because we're fans. We just want to enjoy ourselves. Like,
that might be...
We didn't care. Like, I didn't want to be, oh, I shouldn't do this. I just wanted to have fun, man. It's the first pay-per-view I've ever seen in my life. I've been a fan for, 30 years. I've never seen a pay-per-view before, and let alone one of the big four. To see it was, like, surreal. I honestly can't even believe it happened and it's over, really, that we were there.
Well, time passes so fast. It's like already like 3 days.
Yeah. But I mean, watching the show, you can't see us because we're up sort of behind the Titantron. But we were like decent seats. We weren't in the fucking boonies somewhere.
It was such an experience, really.
It was really cool, man. I loved it.
Just going like it was. We didn't just go like. We had like a couple options. Either like you can go bare bones, nuts and bolts, take it down to the studs, and basically do like a Survivor Series. That's it. But like the way just having the NXT and like the whole going to the hotel, going to the NXT, and then. The old cab driver tried to take us back to Cambridge too at one point.
Yeah,
it was like an hour away from the venue. Like he gets in, Buddy hops on the fucking highway going fucking westbound the opposite way, and I'm like, where are you going? He's like, Huron, Ontario. I'm like, man, that's fucking Mississauga somewhere. Like,
yeah.
But
he took us the opposite way, so we had to
he didn't charge us.
to him. But he was a good guy though.
Yeah, he didn't charge us for it.
He was a nice guy.
But yeah, like to that, and then like just going. We went after that. We went to like this pub, which is like only a minute away from. And
there's a few
like
stories there too.
Yeah, there were some funny guys across the way they got kicked out, and we met old friggin'
the native wrecking squad.
Yeah, the native wrecking squad, and they were friggin'.
So I'm gonna explain that for a second. These two native guys walk in, and they're big dudes, man. So they remind me of Samoans, like the Samoan wrecking squad. So two of them walks in, they starts talking to us, and it almost they come off as almost like we'll protect you, but they're like these huge guys. And two of them were native, so I called them the Native Wrecking Squad. They were fucking hilarious. But, yeah, the guys got kicked out. There's a couple of guys, not the Native Wrecking Squad, there was another couple of guys who got kicked out. They were drunk, put the chair up on the bar, and got fucking kicked out. Eric Young was there with his parents, and what else happened? Oh, there's a guy outside that when Chris was pissing on the loose moves, but he was talking about how he went to like 4 or 5 WrestleManias or something, and he's after being to like 14 pay-per-views and all this other stuff, man.
Supermarket, apparently.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I said, I've been a lifelong wrestling fan, but that kind of stuff, like.
He's got money, obviously, right?
Yeah,
like,
he must have been from like a half-rich family.
Like if I had money or something, I'd go goddamn every fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I travel around the world.
I honestly don't understand how these guys, like I said, unless they have rich parents. He's at 5 WrestleManias. He wasn't that old of a guy, man. He would have been like the first one we went to see, probably 18 or 19 years old.
I think he said like I can't remember what he was saying. I was hammered.
Like, I thought he said like 20. I thought he said it might be like 20 was the first one he seen.
Yeah, and then like I remember telling us about Orlando, the 24 one.
So I mean that's like 10 years ago. He wasn't much. I say he's our age, really. So
what, the guy?
Yeah,
he's only in his 30s. But the loose move shit, we got fucking. Well, I don't know about you. I got fucking pretty hammered here.
Yeah, it was a good time. The place was fucking packed.
It was packed. And we went back to the hotel and friggin', like, it gets a bit blurry for her. I know Johnny's run a podcast, and I guess we did a podcast. I don't know what is on that podcast. Like, there could be racial slurs and friggin' bigotry 101 on that. I don't know. There could be homophobes. I don't even know what we talked about.
I don't remember.
Like,
I know we talked about NXT, and we talked about the guys behind us at NXT.
They were worse.
Just being like the worst people ever. Chris was smoking out the window in the hotel room the whole time. That was hilarious.
That was a good decision.
Yeah.
So then the next morning I woke up, and but the whole weekend, like I say, is almost surreal because we did that, and it didn't. There was no like the only downtime we had was Sunday afternoon, and even then, like we went to Boston Pizza and had food.
Went to Starbucks.
And then we went to Starbucks, and we even sat in the truck, and like Johnny almost tried to fall asleep on me. By the way, it was like minus 850 degrees.
It was snowing and everything.
It was really cold. And then like just going to Survivor Series and the whole new scene the next night, because the Survivor Series scene was totally different than the NXT scene. But I'm almost like, can't even believe I've seen NXT TakeOver. Like looking back now, I'm like I was sitting right there for like
Joe Nakamura,
yeah, like it was
Asuka, Mickey James, DIY Revival,
like it was fucked
Ty
up.
Dillinger, Bobby Roode's entrance was fucking
Bobby
awesome.
Roode was the first entrance we've seen in the whole weekend,
and it was fucking deadly, man.
Bobby Roode's entrance was fucking amazing.
That's one of the highlights they were talking about. The highlights of NXT TakeOver were the entrances. His entrance, Nakamura's entrance, like just like this spectacle of their entrances seems like a big deal. You know what I mean?
Glorious was fucking hilarious. I was giving her.
Oh yeah, we'll show the video, but we were like, you can hear us on the video, like glorious, just giving her, man.
Let's not show that. That's not too.
Yeah, we will.
So that was it for our weekend, and then we Survivor Series ended like a little bit early because it was weird because before our show normally they end like 10 to 11 or something, like 3 hours 50 minutes or something. But because there was only 5 matches on the goddamn show, you kind of figure like, how the hell are they going to get 5 hours out of this, right? Or 4 hours, sorry. So we ended up getting home kind of early, and then the two of us crashed, and then
Raw.
We watched Raw. Raw was
uneventful. Like I don't remember what happened really.
Jericho and Owens segment needs mad praise. Well, it's not getting nearly enough praise.
Yeah, that's the best part of it all. That's the best part of it.
They had me fooled for a second. For like 30-40 seconds in the middle there, I was like, because we thought they were going to blame Rollins or Reigns. And for a minute there,
it looked like they were going to turn on each other.
Owens was, it was the first time that Owens like wasn't outshined by Jericho. Because he was fucking losing it. He was like, monkeys! He was freaking out about the monkeys in the truck.
The monkeys in
and
the
he was saying, that segment was, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that was good too, because I kept questioning back and forth. I was like, are they turning on each other at this point? Because I've heard rumors that they're going to have them go against each other.
They had us. And then, like, so that segment was good. The Goldberg thing at the start was pretty cool.
Well, when he announced the Royal Rumble, he announced he's going to be in the
Royal Rumble. And in between all that, I think the first match was fucking, what was it? Oh my god, it was something so bad. We're like, what is happening? Well, I can't remember. Like, we just watched Raw like 2 nights ago, and I honestly can't even remember.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so uneventful. I mean, the Goldberg was eventful. Like, that was memorable because he was obviously announced he's going to Royal Rumble. He wants to go for another title run and this kind of stuff. And, you know, we seen that coming kind of deal. We heard he was going into the Rumble beforehand. The Jericho Owens one was a good one.
Segment.
The main event was Jericho and Rollins.
The main event was fucking Owens versus Rollins for the belt, wasn't it? For the title, and Jericho was banned from ringside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because that's the other thing that was memorable, because Jericho comes out
Sin Cara.
dressed as Sin Cara and cheap shots him. So that was a kind of a play on the whole Sin Cara cheap shotting him backstage and that kind of deal. Ooh. But
Johnny's a Rosa Mendez mark. We're watching WWE Network right now, people. He's marking out for old Rosa Mendez. It looks like.
What's going on here? Oh, it swerved.
So Raw was kind of like Raw. SmackDown last night, we gotta get going. But SmackDown last night was, like Johnny. It's kind of weird, and I don't know if it's just because of my head, but maybe it's just because it's more of a classic wrestling show. But technically speaking, last night SmackDown was fucking horrid.
Oh, it's horrid.
Like I mean, this
Bang.
Ellsworth thing, they jumped the shark on Ellsworth. This has gone too far now, in my opinion, man. Like, AJ Styles needs to lose. Like, I'm not. Don't want to be Mark Boy here, but he looks like a joke. Honestly, this is the worst title reign in years. He's lost to fucking James Ellsworth. Once for a kick is okay. Twice is like, all right. We even said like you gotta get in there, but 3 fucking times, and he almost beat Ellsworth, or he almost beat fucking Styles last night. Kinda almost in a regular, just normal DQ interference match. He almost kind of beat him on his own. He super kicked the fuck out of him, tipped the ladder over himself, climbed up, but he's jumped the shark big time for me. Like, I think this Ellsworth thing is, I like him. I'm a mark for Ellsworth, but
it's funny because
I think he loses the belt to TSC. A hot take there, because I think something's gone on with AJ. They're making him look bad.
Brian Zane mentioned today on Wrestling Regret.
Who fucks that? Don't go plugging other shows on our fucking podcast, man.
But he mentioned today that he's soured on Ellsworth. Just because of that, I think. I didn't watch the video, but just because, you know.
Oh, it is. We all think the same, wrestling fans. When it gets, like, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I gotta go Mark mode now. Because, buddy, James Ellsworth, like it or not, he's entertaining, but he's a fucking joke, right? So, when you're AJ fucking Styles, you lose 3 times to him in the span of 6 weeks. He's your world champion. I think he not only will he gotta lose the belt TLC.
Well, see,
this reign is this. You know what? This reign will never be taken serious because they'll always remember it as boy. He lost 3 times, so he gotta lose it. Ambrose is gonna win it. I think he's dropping it.
You know what? In my opinion, what should have happened was at some point he should have destroyed him. So like.
He never did.
Ellsworth wins the first match, or whatever, because of Ambrose's shenanigans.
Well, I'm okay with that.
The next week, he should have fucking just obliterated him.
Thrown him in a goddamn river off a bridge or something.
Yeah, just obliterate him like
fucking dead.
Just
seriously.
Not even like no joke, no laughing, no carrying on. Just AJ Styles comes out and absolutely murders Ellsworth.
They should have.
Then like maybe give it a few weeks and maybe he can win again because
that's 2 now.
But maybe because Ambrose.
Well, we're okay with that.
But he still should get it back each time. He should.
But eventually you don't even need to get it back anymore because when you're the champion, you can't just keep getting it back. Last night was just like we were sitting there watching. We had a bit of fun. We were laughing. But like every day when I get up after a wrestling show, I get up, put my boots on, go to work, and as the day goes on, whenever I have a minute, I think about like wrestling because that's all I fucking think about. And I was like, this is gone. Like, what are they doing to Styles? It's almost like. What it's done. It's completely tainted his reign now at this point, dude. He just must have fucking. But now looking back at the match, like so, lots of matches someone interferes, but you end up winning anyway because the guy runs out. Ambrose interfered. He did.
He only hit him
but
once.
The match didn't end when he interfered. That's the difference. If you cost him the match, you came in. After that, man, I'm gonna watch that match again because I'm pretty sure Ellsworth literally kind of beat him himself. AJ was climbing up. Well, no, AJ was climbing up. AJ pushed, or Ellsworth pushed him out of the ring, which was all on his own, not with the help of Ambrose. Almost killed AJ. Remember, he flipped over. As he came back in, Ellsworth has the wherewithal to kick him in the face.
His foot gets caught in the rope.
His foot gets caught in the rope like an idiot, and he climbs him. He almost kind of just beat him, and I'm like, okay. So hot take is that he's losing the fucking title at TLC.
If he doesn't lose at TLC, the only
Rumble's gone for sure.
The only way they could actually try to fucking save him a little bit would be to like destroy Ambrose at TLC.
He'd have to do some fucking damage.
That's what I mean. Like just be known and not even fair, and then just dominate everybody afterwards. Not going to happen.
No, I think like I said, I think they last night was. It's gone too far. Buddy, 3 fucking times. It's like remember Razor Ramon and the Kid?
Yeah.
Right? So, the Wonder Street Kid beat him by fluke, and I got the kid over, and Razor was fucking pissed. I remember the feud pretty clear. The next time they fought, Razor ate the fucking Wonder Street Kid. But then, the next time they fought, the kid snuck another one. After the second one, and Razor had already eat him, that was it for that. Razor motherfucker killed him, man. It was the end of that feud.
And they became like friends.
And then they became like friends, and Razor became like a
he got respect for him and this kind of stuff, yeah.
This here is like kind of like, so you're telling me we're like 8 weeks into this feud and he's still making a fool of you? Like how is AJ? Well, AJ Styles is being booked as like this, not only weak but like dumb as shit. Like he's mad stupid, isn't he? Like, but you're the dumbest world champion of all time, really. I mean, you know Ambrose is coming back here.
Yeah, I think it might go down in history as just as bad as like Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho.
It's probably gonna be worse because when did he win at SummerSlam?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's only had it for a few months. And not typical for AJ, but there's no like classic match to look back on to save it. You can't be like saved by that fucking whatever that match that happened in the annals of time. He's kind of got like looking back now. It's already looking back for me because he got to lose it. I don't want him to lose, man. I'm a huge. I fucking love AJ Styles. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. This is not because I want him to lose it, but they got to get that off him now. Like
you know, it's a shocking thing to say, and I know we shouldn't be talking about this, but like in today's wrestling thing, but like I think it's his size. I honestly believe that like Vince is looking at him.
Still?
I still think so, man. I still think in some way
because he's not Braun Strowman.
I still think in some way in Vince's mind, because look at all the guys that had shitty title runs like that.
Lots, man.
Jericho, Rey Mysterio,
CM
even
Punk
Dean Ambrose had a shitty title run. They're smaller guys.
CM Punk was the worst. 434 days champion, never made event in one fucking pay-per-view.
They're smaller guys, and like I said, you put them all in the ring. I didn't really realize that I seen them all in the ring together. Shane McMahon's bigger than AJ Styles, man.
Oh fuck yeah, AJ Styles not big. He's
doesn't mean he's a small guy.
He's normal. Man, you know what? Like
he's probably smaller than Jericho, probably.
Yeah, but the thing is, we seen Jericho and Owens.
They were normal looking dudes.
Yeah, Owens is looks like you. Like,
he looks exactly like
his arms aren't even bigger or anything. Really,
no,
like
he's like my brother, man.
He's got a little tiny, like well, not little, but you know what I mean. He doesn't have like
just a normal guy's arms.
Yeah, like
he's not 24-inch python.
Maybe that's. But then you see someone like Braun Strowman, and you could just picture Vince jerking off the fucking picture of that in the WWE magazine. Like, oh.
That's what I mean. I think it's got a lot to do with his size. So in Vince's mind, or whoever's got the final shot, obviously it's Vince. But like I think in his mind, he's saying to himself like, I can't take him serious as champion. We'll give him the title just because the fans want it, but we can't have him going out and beating everybody every week because
it's kind of even more fucked up. To that is even the people he liked that were smaller, he didn't really give good. Shawn Michaels had like one title run. Seriously, look, his whole fucking career in '96 when he won the title at the fucking Iron Man match. Remember? Yeah. And that whole year, he for 5 months he had to build. That was really, man. Look, take back. Austin won it off him, but he had it for like 2 months. He only had like one title run his whole fucking career. He only won title like 3 times, I think, hasn't he?
Something like that. I think.
He's
not like a fucking 10-time.
No, he's like a 3-time world champion, and Vince loves him. Like he wants to fucking jerk off in his face, but maybe it is because he's
a smaller kind of guy.
Well, he's a small guy. He's smaller than like. He's like AJ Styles size.
When you look at it, when I keep looking back, all the smaller guys, Daniel Bryan, he never had much of a run at it.
I'm trying to think like, well, if you got to get hurt.
No, but I mean, even he got hurt as the IC champ.
He got hurt as the world champ too, the year before.
But I'm talking about when he retired. Same thing
happened like
when he retired. He won the IC title.
Yeah, he got hurt like. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, listen, I'm not going to dispute technicalities here because you're right. Like, if you look back at people that are under 6 feet tall, basically,
they've never been really booked strong.
Like there's been a million champs under 6 feet tall. Who the hell's actually had a strong showing? Like I said, Michaels in '96 was champ for like 5 months.
Even Benoit.
You know what he did? You know who he lost it to too? It's Survivor Series '96. Remember I was driving out. I said 20 years ago this month. Sid. Who did he take it off and give to? Fucking Sid.
Yeah.
Who's, by the way, 7-foot freak show. You know, Vince has always been. His character traits are quite amazing actually because they're always been the same. I'm trying to think of
a dominant, smaller guy.
Like who's small? What do you define as small? Like is Macho Man small? Or Bret Hart or Ric Flair? No, Macho Man was small. He's fucking goddamn buffed up as fuck.
He was a big dude.
The only two... Macho Man, like...
Stone Cold...
Yeah, he's pretty big, man. He's like 6'2" or 3. He's
6'2"
big
3.
dude, man. Like,
yeah, but I mean, he's not like huge, but
no,
he's at the limit that I think that anybody less than that, anything
Austin
smaller,
was a big guy.
Anything smaller than like Austin doesn't really get a good.
No, Austin had the same like look as like a Bret Hart, like same size, like 6'2".
Anybody like let's say like Benoit,
man,
who's like 5'11",
you could almost say
6
feet or under, and you got no chance.
Yeah, you're not getting taken seriously. You might get the title. But
like, I don't know how big Macho or Flair is. Sorry, not Macho. Because Macho Man was obviously clearly.
But I think Flair was a different story.
He's an NWA guy anyway.
Yeah, Flair
he's not a Vince guy. He never was. They got him in the Hall of Fame. He sucked his dick and everything. Let's be honest. He never had one good run in WWE.
Listen, you look at look at his history in WWE.
Horrible.
So, in his last tenure in WWE, he was feuding with Shelton Benjamin, man.
Yeah, like he never. The only thing he ever did was a manager of Revolution, which means he didn't wrestle much.
And he wrestled
Shawn Michaels. When he actually was in his prime in like 91, 92, he had a horrible run in WWE.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's a WCW guy.
Yeah.
Vince got nothing to do with Ric Flair, but he's a smaller guy. But who had? I don't know. I honestly, let's see. And think about all the smaller guys who didn't get the belt they should have. Ted DiBiase never got the belt.
Perfect.
Never got the belt.
Roddy Piper.
He's like the same size as all them. Never got the belt. It actually all makes sense. Vince got like some kind of fucking... He sees things one way.
Yeah.
And you're like, by Vince, man, this guy AJ Styles, like, he's over as fuck, which he is. And like,
Daily wrestler.
He's like the best wrestler in the world. No.
He's not 7 foot.
I need someone that we can sell to people. Yeah. We need to be larger than life. You can just hear him being like... It's like, Vince boy, like, I'll be honest with you, like, who are you going to give it to after Braun Strowman? Like, and I like Braun Strowman, by the way. Like, I think...
I do too, actually.
He's pretty jacked.
He's surprising me, actually.
He's agile as fuck.
He's surprising me as a, like, on-screen personality. Like, you know what I mean? I actually believe
I like him.
Yeah.
But, I mean... But yeah, like, I can't think anyone that's been, like, 6'1", 6 foot that ever got anything.
You know what's going to happen now? Let's say Ambrose do win it at TLC. Royal Rumble comes around. He's going to lose it to... Who do you think he's going to lose it to?
Taker. Taker's getting the goddamn belt.
Maybe I'm thinking that maybe at some point here Styles holds on to it or regains it because they're talking about Styles.
They're doing that. But we're smart, so we've been saying that. That SmackDown a couple weeks ago, we were writing each other and we were calling the whole goddamn feud. So we just said, "I'll come for anyone," and it's going to be Styles and Taker
at Royal Rumble.
We knew that. We got the messages of the fucking show.
Taker wins it at Rumble,
and then Cena for a career versus title match at fucking Mania. I'm calling it right now. Yeah. It's going to be Undertaker's career and the title on the line. And his biggest WrestleMania challenge yet. He's putting the title and his career on the line. I can see the whole.
I got a funny feeling that at Rumble, that Lesnar costs Goldberg the Rumble. So let's say Lesnar gets like dumped out by Goldberg, and then Lesnar gets back in the ring and costs Goldberg the Rumble, and that leads to a Lesnar Goldberg rematch at WrestleMania.
Sid and Hogan at '92. Remember when Sid got tossed out, or Hogan got tossed out actually and grabbed his hand.
That's exactly what happened because it's going to lead to a rematch at WrestleMania between the two of them.
It's going to be Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania for the third time, which is a big money match. Yeah. Number 3. The only difference is, and I kind of like it, is it's not 1-1 right now. That's what makes it even better. It's so predictable.
It's not a rubber match. It's
it's like the rubber match. This is 2-0. Like Lesnar is going to be sold as Lesnar needs to win to save face. Yeah. Right? But
if Goldberg wins, he's cemented his dominance over Lesnar.
Well, 3-0.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people are going to have a hard time buying it because of what just happened. And, by the way, Goldberg's a fucking tank. But, like, we just see Goldberg live. I'm like,
I think in the same vein, everybody's going to be surprised when Lesnar actually gives him a good run.
That's what I mean. Like, it's perfect storytelling, really. I don't know what people's problem is. So it's going to be Lesnar, Goldberg. I guarantee that. I know it's going to be Cena Undertaker. Like, fucking almost guarantee that, too.
Yeah.
Reigns and Strowman is pretty much the thing that people are saying now. Don't even mind that too much. It's like Reigns is not in the main event. So this is another thing. People complain because he's in the main event. You put him down with Strowman. People complain. I'm alright with that. Strowman's.
I think you might even get Owens versus Jericho at WrestleMania.
That culmination of their best friendship.
Yeah, and it exploding at the end, and they'll get their WrestleMania moment.
He's losing the goddamn belt soon. Fucking Owens is.
Yeah.
Because what I said to you earlier, I said it's pretty funny that he's the least over of his.
Would it
tag
be
team.
Strowman versus Reigns for the title, for the Universal title? I wonder.
Maybe. I got no problem with Strowman being pushed to the moon right now. I'm anti. I've said it before. You know that I've told you. I am all for mega push of Strowman because he's huge. He's not 5'6", and he doesn't do the dives in a row. It's something different. We haven't seen a mega push of a big man.
He's not like
He doesn't
unbelievable.
even suck, but he doesn't even suck.
No.
Like, he's not like goddamn fucking Khali.
I gave him a hard time beforehand just because he was
No,
green.
because he looked fucking like.
And he was just
but
green.
They booked him that way. Like, he had a chance to show off. Since he's got his own, like, I got no problem by Braun Strowman, goddamn world champion tomorrow, and I'd be like, boy, look at him.
Well, like I said, a year ago, he was green. Like, he couldn't wrestle at all. But now, he gave him some chance to learn what he's doing.
He's not even that bad in the mic, really.
No.
He
He doesn't need to be, though. He can just come out and be like, I crush you, and just, that's it. Like,
Didn't you say
believe
something
it.
like, there's a guy online, Dave, saying he wanted Corbin versus Strowman.
Oh.
Everyone's been over kill yourself.
Yeah, Corbin versus Strowman. And when he said Dean Ambrose rejoining the Shield.
Nobody wants to see, no more Shield, please.
No.
Well, I don't know. We got to give her up here.
All right, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So no more Shield is the ending of the show. So
no more Shield, dear. You get that bass riff after No More Tears to go with this?
oh, and remember Jerpy? Remember that song?
We'll go back to killing ourselves. Anyway, Johnny's going back to Newfoundland and like fucking end to the power of 100 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I gotta get up. I'm drinking now, and we're gonna order pizza. Holy fucking! I'm starving.
Yeah, that'll be the end of this week's Ringside Reality. We'll do another one now next week when I get back and get everything straightened away. But it was a good time in Toronto here.
We had a good weekend in Toronto. A really good weekend.
A very memorable weekend. I'll never forget it. The first time I seen a pay-per-view. Johnny
came up to old Smark City for a pay-per-view.
So
now you might be disappointed if he goes to goddamn old Tallahassee somewhere and you realize it. Alright, everybody, thank you for listening. We're going to be back next week. I hope you enjoyed our Survivor Series fucking stories here. And we had a good weekend, and we'll see you next week when we're back with another episode of Ringside Reality.
See you later.